Good day to you, my friends. My name is Donato and welcome to this week's Fast and Fun Friday Run series, where in this episode I'll be talking about, are you ready to believe in yourself? Delicious, delicious. Best way to start today with a cup of tea, and today it's, is that focused in? Lemon and ginger. So yes. Oh my word, have I got a lot to cover through in this one. And I'm probably going to be doing it in the quickest way, which was based on following on from last week's Fast and Fun Friday Run series. If you watch it, click on the link there, up there somewhere, which was to do with, is science holding us back? Where I got some tremendous feedback from a lot of you guys, you guys that watch this each and every week, and it just goes to show that there's a lot of top runners and intelligent people who do subscribe to this channel and do come back and watch all the time. And I just wanted to go through some of the feedback that I had, because as I mentioned in terms of the topic for this particular one is, and I've got some sad news really, that this will be the last of the Fast and Fun Friday Run series. Yes, I know. Oh, I've really enjoyed producing this, but this will be the last one. I might do a Casey Neistat and resurrect and then start it again and call it Series 2. But for the moment, this will be the last one, and really it's quite appropriate that I finish, whether it be this particular series or the whole lot, about believing in yourself. Are you ready to believe in yourself? Reading through some of the comments and from last week, is science holding us back? Now, a lot of people did quickly pick up on it. It's not the science that's holding us back. It's the BS, the marketing BS around it. And reading some of the comments here, got them here on my phone. So, and I'll show it on there. And in terms of what was said, you've got Go Kiwi here, who's a great YouTuber. He's run sub 90 minutes. He's around my age as well, so super fast, great athlete. And he said he was lucky that he learned running before the days of GPS smartwatches, etc. It's easier for us to switch from autopilot gadgets to manual. How you feel while running. And he thinks the high-tech gadgets are awesome, fun, and really motivates you to get out there and record another workout. I think they're perfectly alright, for as long as you don't rely completely on the smartwatch or gadgets. Yeah, so again, it's great for him as long as you don't rely on it. Nathan, who's a regular subscriber and a regular watcher, and you may have seen he ran with me at Chicago. We caught up, he was passing me around mile 18, 19 at Chicago. Yeah, Nathan. Sub 3 hour marathon runner now, great runner. So as he was saying, great topic, Donato. He says he doesn't have a specific answer, but what about kit gadgets, there is one that really baffles him. So he subscribes to my approach to running. He goes some days running hard effort, but most of the time easy effort, and he knows his own body. Doesn't need a watch to dictate how to run. I do have a GPS watch, which is handy for logging miles, etc. But that's all he uses it for. No amateur runner needs to spend £400 to £500 on a watch to give them a bunch of stats that they likely don't understand. Yeah, so I was recently looking at gels, and on the back of one of the packets it recommends one gel every 15 minutes before activity, and then gel every 15 minutes during activity. Which to him is bonkers and just deployed by the company to sell people their products. And it works. And why you see people on the marathon start line armed with 20 gels looking like Rambo. Yeah, so many people fall for this marketing BS. And thankfully there are still plenty of us that don't fall for it, but sadly that's the way mass participation running is heading. At an alarming rate. Is it heading that way? So thank you for that, Nathan. Cole. Hey Cole, out in Yorkshire. How you doing, matey? He left a great comment, and yeah, he says there's a lot of BS out there. And who's to say they wouldn't have run those times anyway? So he runs all his races on feel, and he's never let his watch dictate his race. And then we have Matt Bertrand. And Matt, are you from Belgium, by the way? There was a singer back in, I think in the 70s, 80s, because he does refer back to, he remembers his Reebok pumps from his childhood, Reebok pumps. Now again, the word pumps, I was speaking to some people not from UK and they'd not heard of that word before, so a pumps might be a plimsoll. I think when it comes to words, if you look at this type of footwear, it's a flip-flop, whatever. I think in Australia, these are called, what are they called in Australia? Thongs, that's it, thongs. Now, thongs in another country means another type of clothing, but pumps is footwear. And I remember in the 70s where we had just basically next to nothing. So it says that's so his Reebok pumps from his childhood, that was a mastery of scientific advancements, scientifically designed and marketed to make me feel cool. And they worked, yes, well done, Matt. But he goes on to, seriously though, is science holding us back? No, obviously not. What do we have without scientific method? A geocentric flat earth. More specifically to running, we need advancements in our tools, shoes, etc. to progress as society. These advancements arguably bring more people to the sport because of the visibility they provide. What steers us wrong, in my opinion, is the marketing that every new advancement is the be all and end all. So in that regard, does science hold us back? Probably because of our inappropriate reliance on it. And he finishes off to say, I really should look on eBay for a pair of 90s era pumps. Yeah, go for it, Matt. Get those 90s era pumps. But to finish off in terms of the comments, which leads me to why I said, are you ready to believe in yourself? Is a comment from Thomas Fritz. Thomas, who's a regular viewer and a top runner. I'm sure you wouldn't mind Thomas me saying that he's older than me, so I'm 58, so he's older than me, and lives out in Germany, great runner, and he opens up with, well, what can I say? There is always the first law of science, the knowledge of today is the error of tomorrow, which is very profound. And number 2, we lost the trust in ourselves and just a sheepish herd who want to believe in machines and numbers. So he goes on to say, what do I suggest? Everybody should relearn to trust the most important person in everybody's life, the person everybody sees when looking into a mirror, which quite rightly Thomas means is yourself. So PS, for himself, he says, thankfully I started running when there was no market for that stuff, no running shoes, no gear, no running watches, no special so-called nutrition. That gave me the opportunity to learn to run strictly by feel, and that is what I always did and I always will. So that was the closing comment. Thank you so much, Thomas, and thank you everybody who watched that and commented. And it just goes to show, really, are you ready to believe in yourself? Whatever training plans, I've gone through a whole series in this 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons. You can take it up to ultras. Whilst I've not run ultras myself, I have walked many long distances, and it takes a different type of training mindset to do those types of things. But essentially, you know, the 3 things that I always talked about in the running, and maybe even the 4th, is the training, the nutrition, the recovery. Those are the 3 pillars of what we do. So number 1, whatever training you do, believe in your training. Number 2, whatever nutrition, food and stuff that you eat and drink, believe in the nutrition that you have. And number 3, when it comes to recovery, whatever recovery that you do, however you rest and recover from the training, believe in the recovery that you do. So all that remains for me to say, my friends, in conclusion to this series and all of it, is really, I look at running. For me, I love to run fast and I love to have a lot of fun. And I hope you guys have a lot of fun and run as fast as you can as well, if that's what you want to do, if that's the fun part of the running. But in essence, it's the whole thing, looking at it in a whole holistic way. It's not just those 3 that I talk about. That sure is to do with the training, the recovery and the nutrition for our training. But it's our whole lives and what we learn from our running, how we adopt that through our lifestyles, and having a balanced lifestyle, and as I say, looking at it in a holistic manner, because in our lives there are other things to take into account. There'll be friends, families, children, parents, grandparents, grandchildren, all sorts. Yeah, it takes up time, day jobs. If you're retired, doing all sorts of other things, whatever it may be, those take up our time and take up our energies, and it's important that we balance it all together. So as this is the final Fast and Fun Friday Run series, maybe of this particular first series, thank you all so much for watching all these. I'd love to hear your comments below of what you thought of this particular one and believing in yourself, and also the whole series. Leave it on there. Please do, if you have found it useful in any way, share this or whatever ones of the series amongst your friends, family, wherever they may be across the interwebs and the world. And if you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe and click on that link up there. And if you have missed the series, then binge watch on the whole Fast and Fun Friday Run series. Thank you all so much. I've loved doing this, and I love you. Bye bye.